So this is the intro not only to my life, but this is going to be the intro to my photography business and the CRV build. I recently just went out and bought a 1989 or 1998 Honda CRV. This is my dream CRV, and quite honestly, is probably one of the coolest cars I've had so far. I've been a car guy since I was young. I've been into cars. Got my first car when I was 21. I've been driving since before that. But when I moved to North Carolina is when I finally really got into cars. Yeah, so welcome. So as a continuation from that video, my name is Kenneth. I am 28 years old. I am a photographer, videographer, and car guy. Not a lot to me outside of that. So let's see, where should we start? I have owned about 5 different cars over my lifetime. One of them being this absolute masterpiece. The other ones, I owned a 2009 Pontiac G5 GT. That was an automatic, unfortunately. I owned a 2001 Mazda Protege. That was a 5-speed. A 2014 Chevy Cruze. No, 2012 Chevy Cruze. My bad. That was a automatic and probably one of the worst cars I've ever owned. Do not ever buy a 4-cylinder Chevy. Transmission issues. If you are thinking about getting a Chevy Cruze, definitely go for one of the manual options, because if you get an automatic, that CVT transmission is absolute dog water. The other ones that I have owned, for a little bit I was driving, I think, either a 2004 or 2005 Ford minivan. We don't like talking about that. We don't like talking about that era. But I had that at one point, was driving that around. And then the other car that I still actually own and still have the keys to is a 2015 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. Unfortunately, the motor is blown in that, which is the reason why I bought this. So I have had this car for about a month now. Have yet to drive it, unfortunately, legal reasons. I do not have it is not registered at this current moment, legal reason. So I don't have tags. So other than that, the only thing that's really standing out to me on this car that needs to be fixed, of course, with this car sitting at 3,600, wait, I fucked up there, sorry. I should tell y'all, I have ADHD, I'm a little bit slow, bear with me. 363,000 miles on this car, or on this CRV, and I bought it. I bought it with that many miles. I have not put not a single mile marker on this thing at all. But biggest things that are definitely going to stick out to me as a brand new car to me, old to somebody else. Oil filter, spark plugs, and then I'm looking for leaks, the whole 9 yards. So, so far I have gone through the engine bay. I have not seen any major leaks outside of the oil pan gasket. I don't know who did the work. All I'm saying it looks a little janky. Part of the reason why is because I do believe that they did, or they used too much of the gasket sealer. Not a bad thing, but a bad thing. So, this is probably the first car I am actually tearing into myself. I was on the verge of tearing into the Veloster Turbo, so I'm a lot more seasoned with the 1.6 turbo motor that comes in that car. This is the very, very, very first time that I'm actually tearing into anything other than that Veloster. Which probably couldn't have picked a better platform to do it on than the B20B that comes in the RD1s. Yes, this is all-wheel drive. Yes, it is a 5-speed manual. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. With this being my first vlog dealing with my everyday life, or at least my everyday car life, it's probably going to be choppy. And I've already sat here and rambled on for about 5 minutes and 28 seconds now. But we gonna see where this goes. Other than that, in the month that I have had this car, I've done a little bit of work to it. The entire headliner has been replaced. I did this myself. I still have a lot of work to do to it. As you can see, it is slightly droopy. It does have play on it. But I did that for a reason. I do plan on going back through here and slowly weaving LEDs through here to make a dream light, in my words, a dream light experience. I see everybody going out and doing the Starlight thing. I kind of wanted to see if I could do something different. So all of the things that you see happening with this CRV are straight out of my head. I have not gone to anybody and asked, hey, how do you think this would look? Because quite honestly, I really don't care. I'm doing this build for me. This is kind of going to be my daily driver and play toy. That being said, no, I do not plan on turboing it. Even though I want to, we're going to keep this the daily. Unfortunately. At least for now. When I do come into a little bit more money, then we might think about daily. Then we might think about turboing the daily. Which on a Honda, I have heard that is not actually that bad. But yeah. So, things to know about the CRV. The previous owner did lower it. Did not use any type of aftermarket suspension. So, because he either cut the springs or heated the springs up, the CRV is actually sitting slightly lopsided towards the passenger side. So new coilovers coming. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do max speeding rods for at least like the first year. That way I can kind of save up. I can get off of a tilted suspension right now. Put at least some nice little cheap coilovers on here, something that can at least run for a year, be beaten on for a year, and then be taken off. Ideally, I want to go for 10 coilovers. If not 10 coilovers, probably a BC Racing coilover is going to be my next option. I've already picked out the wheels for this thing. I'm going with the Conseil Tandems in a matte bronze. Definitely gonna see how the matte bronze looks on here. I think it's gonna look completely dope. I'll kind of show y'all a little 360 of the car. Excuse this, I replaced the door lock like a few minutes ago. So this is the baby. Definitely not a bad looking car. especially with it being in 1998. Of course, you can tell some of the plastic pieces are weathered. Not going to be replacing those. Definitely just going to be restoring them. But yeah, going with the Conte tandems. Of course, it has the fifth wheel. I don't plan on replacing the fifth wheel or tire at all anytime soon, because I got more important stuff to do. I got bills and shit. So when we do have the opportunity to go and actually replace and get a fifth wheel, then we will get a fifth wheel. However, for like probably the first 2-3 months, we are definitely going to be rocking these stock boys. Let's see. Dealing with the, and I'll kind of show you all, hopefully you can see it, but it does kind of sit slightly lopsided towards the passenger side over this way. You can see it kind of slants that way. Spider web? Really? Okay. But yeah, that's the CRV. Still have these. I was looking for these headphones and they were on my car. This is crazy. That's wild. Anyway, so the car I bought from I'd say middle-aged, older gentleman, definitely somebody in their 30s or 40s. Came with the B20B, as all CRVs do, all-wheel drive, because it is the EX model and not the LX model. It does normally come with, I know y'all heard that, it does normally come with the B20B transmission as well. This one, transmission was replaced, and he replaced it with the B16 gearing. So definitely a little bit more fun to drive because of how short the gearing ratio is between the B20 and the B16. Yes, I've test driven it. Yes, it is very rowdy for what it is, because believe me, 126 horsepower is not that much, especially when you have cousins and older brothers that play with V8s all day. So I am the only cousin I am the only cousin out of all of my cousins that has something like this. I love Japanese cars, have always loved Japanese cars. Only because, I mean, you look at them, they're not really, in my opinion, they don't come off as very menacing, and you kind of have to soup them up a little bit in order to hang. At least with the older ones. But this is the journey. We're gonna see where it takes us, see where it leads. You all get to come along with me, not only on my journey with the CRV, but you also get to see my journey as a photographer, a videographer, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna see where it goes. I just might do a poll underneath this video on my Instagram, whatever the case may be, to help me name this thing. This thing has had so many names in the past month. I've called it the Patchwork CRV because of the interior. The interior is not going to replicate the outside at all. The interior is going to be soft, comfy, comfortable, homey, cozy, that type of thing, because it's going to be the car that I travel in all the time. The outside is going to be a little bit more menacing and a little bit more showboaty, but we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, it's been called the Patchwork CRV. It's been called Zetsu because I am in love with Naruto. It's been called We ain't gonna call it that. That was like a name for 2 days. It is the Mist Hashira off of Demon Slayer. But anyway, we're definitely gonna see where it goes, see what happens, and hopefully you guys stick around. So let's see.